20 advises, 3 in custody, all units 10-4.
These are empty. These buckets are totally empty. It's a mess. It's just, I don't even know where to begin. There are so many dogs in so many different places.
Disgusting. Pens are full of feces, there's no water, dogs are skin and bones.
Usually there's a method to somebody's madness. Here they are literally dispersed all over this place.
It's remote. Many of the people out here want to be, they move here for a reason, they be away from people.
It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of hard work. Jesus, that's a lot of loose stones.
I don't know how many cats and dogs are living in here. I mean, there must be 3 inches of feces and urine in there. 8 so far. We're gonna need masks. Living in this trailer with no food, no water. I mean, I have a headache and I have a mask on. That's what you wonder. When's the last time that they felt something other than feces under their feet? You want to be next. You do? Do I look silly in this mask? Caution.
Clear. This house is clear. Let's check underneath, Jen. Here.
You know, we actually almost passed right by, and that's part of the problem with this property. Is they're just tucked away in all of these little corners. And I looked down and I saw something red, and it was his paw.
He's obviously in a lot of pain, so I think he's going to be just going to go really slow and try to get him.
Come on, baby. I know, sweetheart. We're okay. We're okay.
The floor is covered with feces, and I don't see any food in there.
This guy is not, I don't know what he just doesn't seem to want to get up. I don't know if he's just really scared and old or... Hi, boo. What's the matter? Can you get up? Oh my God, you see the nails?
I mean, this is not livable for any human being or animal, and this neglect, it really tears at your heart. This is just horrible to see that these guys are living in these conditions.
Okay. Yeah, there's one deceased dog back here that's dying. The dog is just skin and bones. Alright, can you watch this side? I'm gonna go around because I can kind of get a little bit under. I've got one. Got him. I'm gonna try to make him come out with me. Okay. I was trying to hold her. She's pretty good about letting me touch her.
And nothing. No water. This is how if she doesn't have water, she can't make milk for these babies. Now this is exciting because these guys, we've only seen a couple weeks of living like this. So maybe they'll never remember. I think they know they're going to a better place, definitely. This is probably the most attention they've had in a long time. Come here! Come here! It's amazing that after all the neglect and cruelty that they've seen, they still come right up to us and trust us that we're going to help them. Amazing animals. Hi, baby. Pretty cool.
Meet Toby, the two-nosed dog. After being found roaming the streets of Fresno, California, he was picked up by a nearby shelter who tried to find him a home. It proved a near impossible task and Toby was at risk of being put down, until Todd Ray came to his rescue. The successful music producer who has worked with artists like Mick Jagger, the Beastie Boys and Cypress Hill saw the double-nosed dog on an advert, and with a habit of adopting unique pets, Toby fit right in. Todd holds a world record for owning the largest number of two-headed living animals, and the pooch joins Rocky the five-legged miniature pincher and Pinchy the two-legged chihuahua. Toby can play and fetch like any other dog, but according to Todd, he has super sniffing abilities and can find anything no matter how well it's hidden. And it may be the case that this owner knows best, as Mr. Ray says Toby is the sweetest dog on earth.
It's one of those jobs that seems made up. I make fake limbs for animals of any breed. Turtle, deer, goat, sheep, llama. You name it, I've done it. You know, there's not many people that do what I do, and sometimes it's a lot on my shoulders.
You're looking at one of 3 baby pit bulls to be found near some railroad tracks.
I got this call about a dog, Hudson. And Hudson was one of those more extreme challenges. A guy pinned him to railroad tracks and left him for dead.
When Hudson was found, he was in such rough shape that they really didn't think he would survive the ride to the shelter. Once I adopted him and brought him home, he would have nightmares. You know, with what happened to him, it's hard for him to be able to trust anyone. I knew something had to change for him.
When I got the call, I said, I have to help this dog walk again. I had to create something that no one's ever created before. I created about 5 different versions of prosthetics. And I'm like, fail, fail, fail. Plastics, like we use here, allows to experiment, and I can do things that I wouldn't be able to do with other materials. I made this new prosthetic, and I said, just please work. I want this to work so bad. All right, let's give it a whirl. You cross your fingers every time you fit a prosthesis. There you go.
Good boy.
It's just one of those miracle moments.
Yeah, definitely. Come on. It was like a whole new Hudson. He was like, I'm free.
Oh, there we are.
There he is. There he is. You ready? You ready? He's a thriving dog now, and he has a purpose in life to help others.
Bye-bye, baby, on the treetop.
There's his belly. He's a friendly one.
Hudson liked people again. I think his faith in humanity was finally restored.
No, he loves music and singing.
He does. Is that what it says in there? Because it should.
A lot of people have their own opinion of what he is.
I have always said she's got some beagle in her.
Maybe some type of pit bull.
I know he's mostly terrier, or I think he is.
She's probably a dachshund mix.
Maybe a hound or something in there.
They said that he's a schnauzer because he has a beard.
There could be terrier in there, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, obtain cheek cells. Sit. Oh, that's good, boy.
Okay. Sit still. She'll just eat it. What's this, Booby? What is this? Let me see your mouth.
There we go, buddy.
Yeah. Chihuahua, miniature poodle, Cocker Spaniel. What?
Congratulations. He's an American Staff.
Oh, he's
the king.
You're the king of the pit bulls.
That was Chihuahua, American Staffordshire Terrier, and Cocker Spaniel.
That is the weirdest combination. You don't look like any of those things.
You're a weirdo.
How crazy. Oh, Jim. That explains so much.
So one of her parents was Chihuahua Staffordshire Terrier, and the other one was Chihuahua Cocker Spaniel.
Mix.
Unknown third breed mix. And there's no dachshund in her at all.
No.
So he's all American Staff.
Like his parents. And grandparents. And then this little ink blot on his resume.
Seriously. That is very cool.
When you were adopting Jimmy, were you thinking about breed at all?
Black dogs aren't usually adopted, but he was really cute. I loved him and I wanted him, so I just got him and I love him. Like, that's my best friend.
Someone was just like, I found this dog on the street. Who wants to take it?
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, we'll take her.
We had talked about a lot of the discrimination against pit bulls. You know, we weren't gonna go buy a dog or even like look for a pure pit bull. It was more just about rescuing and more just about the dog's personality.
I don't think a breed of a dog would ever make or break an adoption for me.
No.
It doesn't matter what breed it is. It's just love.
Okay, well, actually, my neighbor was going to the store, and he was driving by, and the dog was sealed inside this bag, and this bag was tied to this T-post on the ground. And he was driving by, and I guess he saw some movement in the bag, and he was like, what the heck? So he stopped and pulled over, and he realized there was a dog in this bag. And so he ripped the bag open, and there was Buck, and he got out, and he limped out just about 2 yards, and then he just collapsed, like right over here, the dog. And the dog was like all bloody and very lethargic, bloodshot eyes, and very depressed. And the neighbor didn't know what to do. They called animal control, but they couldn't get a hold of animal control. And so they know that I'm a big animal lover, independent rescuer, and so they phoned me, and they told me they had just found a dog that was stuffed in a garbage bag. You know, could I come out here? So I came out here, you know, I assessed the situation and saw Buck, and I love animals, and so it was Saturday at 12 noon, all the vet clinics were closing, and I knew this was going to be an emergency visit call, but we loaded Buck up in the back of my SUV, and off he went to Conroe Emergency Clinic, and he's been there since yesterday. We thought originally that he was a bait dog. Based on his injuries, there was blood all over his face and his neck and his legs, and so at first appearance it looked like he was maybe used as a bait dog. But it later turned out that he had just been shot in the face with a shotgun that had what's called bird shot inside of it, and so he has all these bullets all over his face, all over his neck, all over his shoulders, in his mouth, in his gums, and sadly and unfortunately in his eyes even. And so Buck has been getting supportive care since yesterday. They've been able to stabilize him. He was extremely anemic and very dehydrated, very lethargic, wouldn't move. He also was limping. but they've been able to stabilize him. He's perked up today, has lifted his head, he's moving around a little bit, so he's ready to come back home tonight, but he still needs to go to the vet and get x-rays to have his back, legs, and hips assessed as to why he's not moving accurately, and then he also needs to get to a specialist, an ophthalmologist, so they can check his eyes and see if maybe they can save his eyesight. They don't know right now whether he's able to see or not, or whether it's permanent damage or temporary. And so I am fundraising right now. Buck has his own Facebook page called Buck Needs Bucks for his buckshot injuries. And I'm fundraising for his medical expenses because they are going to be several $1,000s. I've raised enough right now to cover his expenses at the emergency clinic, but I do need to raise a couple $1,000s for the ophthalmologist and his x-rays. And so if you go to his Facebook page and like it, you can make a donation there, and Buck and I would greatly appreciate that.
What did you think? I mean, seeing something like that, just an animal just laying like that in a bag, just left for dead.
Well, unfortunately, I've been doing independent rescue most of my adult life, and now with social networking, I see a lot of this stuff on Facebook and a lot of horrible stories, so it doesn't surprise me. When I moved to the country a few months ago, I see a lot of apathy out here, and a lot of people just don't care about their animals. They don't spay neuter, and they let them run free, and these animals just stray, and you know, you got a combination of that, people that don't like dogs, people that have guns, and stuff like this happens. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all, because dogs love unconditionally. You will never find anybody or anything that loves you like a dog. Why would you injure something like that? I don't understand.
Okay, doctor, first of all, your name?
My name is Dr. Ron Hendrick.
Okay, what's the name of the shelter here? Or
And this is the Conroe Animal Emergency Clinic.
Okay, right here. Tell me a little bit about this clinic.
Well, this is almost a state-of-the-art, essentially a state-of-the-art clinic that's been here a long time with a great reputation as far as I'm concerned. We're here pretty much on every weekend from Friday evening till Monday morning, and then during the week from Monday evening through Friday after hours. So when people have an emergency and their regular doctor is unavailable, we're here.
How often do you get animals like this come in? You had this come in this week.
Unfortunately, we see it more often than we'd like to see, but it's not as often as I guess it could be, but probably once a month, maybe, something like that.
Most people will take care of them.
Yeah, we see injured animals every day that we're here.
Tell me a little bit about Buck's injuries and his prognosis now.
Buck came in with a pretty bad prognosis initially. He was hypothermic and in a comatose situation, and luckily we got him in time so that we could get his temperature up and his electrolytes balanced out, his blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. And he's made a remarkable recovery. And his prognosis is very good, actually.
What kind of injuries did you find in him?
Well, he was actually shot in the face with a buckshot, and then left to die. I guess I'm not sure what time it happened, but in the middle of the night apparently, and a very cold night at that, and left just abandoned in a plastic bag, and left to die.
What about the buckshot? What kind of damage?
Basically, pretty much facial injuries. Both eyes were damaged. We don't know if he penetrated his brain, but enough that it severely affected his mentality, apparently. So he's got a lot of facial buckshot. He carries a lot of weight right there.
What about his eyes?
Both of them are injured permanently, I'm sure. Now, whether he can ultimately see, I'm sure he can see somewhat when they heal, but only time will tell us how extensive that injury is.
So actually penetrated in the eye?
Oh, yes. Both eyes I'm sure have buckshot in them right now.
Okay. Now, most of the buckshot, that many, there's pellets everywhere.
Hundreds.
What do you normally leave that in there or take it out, or what do you normally do in that?
Typically, if you can get them out, now not of the eye. Now, I'm not convinced that we'll take them. Now, that's up to specialists to say if they should be removed or not, but chances are they'll leave them, I would think. And then Mother Nature's pretty kind. If we can just get them to heal, then we worry about secondary glaucoma, issues like that, but chances are it's going to be okay.
How old did you say Buck is?
He's fairly young. I would say probably 3.
Yeah, what about weight-wise? I mean, he looks a pretty good-sized dog.
I don't remember his weight. Yeah, we have to look at his chart to see his weight. He's a good-sized dog.
About 60 pounds.
60 or 70 pounds anyway. Sweet disposition, a wonderful dog. He'd make somebody a great pet.
All right.
Brock, there he is. Famous Buck. All right, good luck. Thanks. Hi, baby. Yeah, you're cold. I can see you shivering.
In Asia once, I watched them crucify dogs, and so they would get their paws and they would nail gun them into walls. And I think that was like the catalyst to where I died as a human being.
This is the story of Mark Ching, a man who is fighting to end the brutal practice in Asia of torturing dogs before slaughtering them for meat out of the misguided belief that tortured dog meat tastes better or can provide health benefits. As such, this video might get a little disturbing, but if you're sensitive, you will be warned before we show anything too intense. Eating dog meat has been a tradition in some Asian countries for 400 or 500 years, and according to Humane Society International, in China, up to 10 million dogs are believed to be killed for meat each year.
We can't be hypocrites and say don't eat dogs. I think the hardest part to understand is the torture.
The factory farming industry in America, I mean, it's a problem too. And so, you know, I'm vegan, so I don't even eat meat. Where in America or other countries, I guess you're supposed to just kill an animal for slaughter. Why, to me, there's a difference is they are specifically abusing them because they believe it makes the meat better.
When he's not rescuing dogs across Asia, Mark runs his local businesses in Los Angeles, one being the Petstaurant, a natural food company for animals that also provides free consultations for health issues and animal nutrition.
We make like organic, fresh food. We kind of cultivate our food to focus on skin issues, cancer, kidney, liver.
And the other being the Animal Hope and Wellness Foundation, which focuses on rescuing dogs around Los Angeles from severe abuse and torture.
In the area, we do a lot of gang pulls, so we go into kind of like gang territory.
Basically, Mark does all the saving of the dogs. He brings them here, and then I do the finding of the homes. I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I started working with Mark. And then when I got to know Mark and know what he's doing, it's profoundly changed me.
Mark has now taken a total of 6 trips across Asia and rescued over 300 dogs. And the way he gets into the slaughterhouses is pretty ingenious. He hires a team of locals to help him do research and then goes in undercover as a rich American businessman and potential business partner.
What happens is when I arrive in a country, you know, I have a translator guide, and I kind of teach them how to be more persuasive. Like, you know, when we show up, you know, this is my client from America. You know, he's a rich American who brings all these dogs back for the importation of dog meat in the U.S. So based on that assumption, they'll show me everything they're doing. It allows me to see, okay, their processing techniques, how they torture, which ways they torture. And so it's a big thing in, like, I guess, really portraying the inside of these places to the public. And, you know, I have videos of hangings, burning them alive, boiling alive, cutting their feet off while they're still alive, strangulation.
And it's that brilliant cover that allows Mark to trick the slaughterhouses into giving him the dogs for free.
And so, for instance, I'll tell, you know, the owner of the slaughterhouse, like, look, I've seen all your torture techniques, I've seen how you process. I'd like to try the meat. I'd like to take that dog there, hanging, those 4 dogs on the table, you cut these legs off. I'd like to take them and try to see how great your product is.
Mark's campaign in Asia is not focused on just rescuing dogs. He also wants to use the video he takes from inside the slaughterhouses to create international outcry in order to get the attention of local Asian governments.
It's hard to wrap your brain around. You know, Mark will send me these videos and I'm like, I can't look at it because I can't even watch through a screen. I don't know how he stands in front of it and bears witness to it. I really don't know.
What we are about to show you is what Mark comes face to face with every time he enters a slaughterhouse. This is graphic and incredibly hard to watch. If you wish to not watch it, you can fast forward a bit. This will be the only instance of disturbing video. And that was, in Mark's words, G-rated.
And it's no longer this heroic kind of like act of where, you know, you go to some place and you do these great things to where you feel so good about yourself. Now, it's just changed because I'm in the slaughterhouse, and so I have to watch the brutality and things like that. And so, I don't know, it's totally different.
He is determined to document the most brutal of torture methods, including some he hasn't been able to capture on film yet, in order to put a stop to it. And sometimes that can get dangerous.
My first trip to now, because of the countries I'm going into, the instances of endangerment are a lot higher. But not only that, I think in regions where they have no law, to where there's no structure or consequences, they're more prone to assault you or things. But the true reason onto why I'm having more occurrences of, I guess, conflict is that I'm kind of losing it. This last trip in Cambodia, you know, I got hospitalized and I got beat up, and so.
By the guys that like run the slaughterhouse?
Well, so I was watching this guy like dismember a dog, and I kicked him in his face, and so that's kind of what happened. And I don't know. You know, I'm just losing it out there, and so. But I have to go because, like, a part of me, like, feels like if I don't do it, you know, nobody else will. And so, you know, it's hard for my wife, I imagine, like, you're out there and you're watching and, like, you know, your husband who has children, he's over there getting assaulted and he's in these areas where they have guns and firearms and, like, she probably thinks, like, what's this guy doing, man? And, like, sometimes I ask myself, like, what am I doing out there? But then deep inside, I know it's because somebody has to, and if I don't, nobody will. And that these dogs will just end up just being burned alive or tortured, and I'm already planning my trip 7, and like I'm stuck there. And I'm gonna be there until I get what I need to push the government to change it. I know how to end it, I just need the pieces. And I'm so close. I never thought it was possible for people to do those things. And so I'm trying to find that place to where I can record that, I can just record it. And I believe once people see that, it'll immediately change everything.